All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is pretty safe to say that the reputation of Paimon and their voice actor is absolutely in the gutter with all of the crazy shit that they've been saying, all of the odd accusations they've been slinging, and the absolute disaster that their conduct has been on pretty much every single social media platform in existence. Twitter, she crashed out. TikTok, she crashed out. Blue Sky, she crashed out. YouTube, she's probably getting there as well. And so what I've found out over here is that there's now a clip of her vomiting and I guess slinging even more accusations while doing that. I don't know what reason you'd ever have on God's green earth to film yourself vomiting like this. And so let's just go ahead. We've got a whole 22-minute breakdown detailing just what the f is going on, and maybe we'll get to the bottom of this. Let's get into this one.
Right now, literally, I'm sick to my fucking stomach right now. Literally.
Why? Is the first reaction when you're like sick and like vomiting on the toilet? I better film this shit. Hey, TikTok's gonna love TikTok's gonna love this.
I'm also autistic, and I'm not good with
Okay, that's diabolical. Why would you? I'm
words. I'm not.
Hey, what's up, guys? Riff here. So today we're going to be looking at the never-ending English voice actor drama that's been going on for a couple of weeks now. And we're going to focus on this voice actor, Karina, who is the voice of Paimon from Genshin Impact, who continues to crash out over criticism of her supposed strike that she is supporting against Genshin Impact. Now, she is someone who immediately attacked the voice actor Jacob Takanashi for taking over the role of a character whose former voice actor had not provided any work for 6 months in support of a strike that was supposedly trying to get AI protections for anyone working with Hoyo. She said this wasn't a passing of the torch.
Yeah, it was her and alongside a bunch of, not really a bunch of other VAs, the other main ones in this situation that were basically just harassing him and trying to ruin his fucking career before it even started. I think it was Kaylee Mills, it was Valeria Rodriguez, and the voice actor for Candace. Valeria is like the voice actor for Sucrose. I don't remember who the Candace VA is. I just know she's like fucking cooked because she was like shit-talking the community. She was like shit-talking Genshin. She was like shit-talking everything she possibly could on the way out. And so this entire situation probably ignited one of the biggest fires we've ever seen in the VA space. Oh yeah, Hu Tao's VA, Brianna Knickerbocker, she got in on it as well. Had some nasty subtweets. And yeah, let's just say that the general populace is not going to be very happy when you gang up and start bullying somebody who effectively didn't really do anything wrong. And we're finding out now that this whole strike, this whole illusion of scabbing, didn't even exist either.
She also was exposed for technically being a scab. She was chastising Jacob Takanashi for taking this role with Genshin under a supposed strike, while meanwhile she was still working with Genshin herself, but she had a special FICOR status that technically allowed her to keep working with this non-union project as a...
So, as we found out from the video by Joe Zija, which we reacted to as well, yeah, Genshin wasn't ever even one of the striked games. The SAG-AFTRA strike, which is what Karina is basically saying that Genshin was a part of, Genshin never actually even fell under that umbrella because the SAG-AFTRA strike only applied to union games, and Genshin is and was a non-union game. And so it was never actually eligible for the SAG-AFTRA strike. Yeah.
A member of the SAG-AFTRA union. Then she went on to TikTok and was crashing out over and over again, saying crazy stuff like this.
If voice actors, both non-union and union, in a video game want a game to go union, the game should go union. Nobody else's opinion matters. That's it. And YouTubers don't know anything.
Just know this is the person who's voicing Paimon. Every time you play that game, this is the person responsible for that character. But with their own research and basically common sense, a lot of YouTubers and X users and just social media users generally were able to see the many flaws in what was going on with this particular strike, and especially with the help of this video by Joe Zija, who is a voice actor and teacher. He came out and made it very clear that the supposed strike against Genshin Impact in Hoyo was not formal. It was not a union set strike. This was more of a social movement from all of these voice actors, and people like Jacob Takanashi had no responsibility to that union, and they did nothing wrong. And
yeah, so basically, let's just say that Jacob Takanashi, the recasting of Kenichi, it basically turned the entire VA strike. It transformed it into like a PvP server. That's probably the best way that I could summarize it. We have voice actors attacking other voice actors, and then like Joe Zija coming in with the fucking steel chair, and then attacking basically every other person that has ever been involved in the entire situation. You can basically look back on the entire past year. There were so many VAs across so many different YouTube channels, across so many different VTuber VAs, like all of that shit. They were all talking about like the SAG after strike and like how they're boycotting Genshin and then doing all of this. And then when Joe dropped this bombshell that like Genshin was never actually eligible for the strike, you could just look back on all of it and be like, holy shit, was everyone actually this fucking stupid the entire time? It's like there was like an aura. Yeah, it was like the Royal Rumble, like the actual nation of war. This was the real Natlan patch.
Basically, a lot of these striking union members, well, they were violating their own strike by continuing to work with Hoyo products, and they looked really stupid, including people like Corrine here. But anyways, she has continued to crash out and even say that some of the YouTubers, these awful YouTubers who are reacting to her, they're reacting to AI-generated videos of her, which is very rich because we've watched videos straight from her own TikTok and also looking at her own content. Do we really need AI when you're providing gems like this voluntarily? And exploring her account, there's even more that we didn't even touch yet. Okay.
And this is the legendary clip that I have been asked many times by my chat to watch. It kind of got pushed off and delayed because we had bigger fish to fry. Like the H-word situation. If you know, you know. And yeah, I guess we're getting to it now.
Okay, this video uploaded about a month ago, or exactly a month ago at this point, is just insane. It's talking about the strike. It's making these preemptive attacks on people who are criticizing her and her movement. And this video really epitomizes everything wrong with this voice actor and all of these self-righteous, virtue-signaling voice actors who are joining in on this supposed strike. Let's listen to the insanity here.
Hi, yes, you are seeing me directly in front of a toilet because I am disabled and I...
Chat, next time I eat something weird and start having like explosive diarrhea, should I just like start making like YouTube shorts? Will it have the intended effect that I want? Will I be able to pity farm that way? Just take my ass over to Red Lobster, come back home, and then just start farming?
I've been vomiting all day, but...
We're not even 10 seconds in, and she's weaponizing her disability to make you feel bad for her and to stop criticizing her. I mean, this is absolutely insane. And by the way, this is an 8.5-minute video.
What? Wait, I thought it was like a 2-minute clip. Nobody told me this shit was 8 minutes. Wait, what? What? No way.
She's hovering over the toilet like her career is. This is TikTok. This is a place for short form content, not an 8.5-minute video like a YouTuber desperately trying to extend the video just beyond the 8-minute mark so they can add,
Yeah, she's adding mid-rolls, bro. She was farming her fucking yak session for mid-rolls. That's crazy. Just upload it on YouTube at this point. God damn.
Roll breaks in because that's the minimal number of minutes required to do so. I mean, this is just ridiculous. Right off the bat, hovering over the toilet, trying to make you feel bad for her, and basically say, "Oh, you poor thing. Whatever you're saying, Queen, you're right."
But I'm on here to tell you guys, hey, for those of you...
Even that dog's like, get the fuck out of there, you dumbass. What the fuck are you doing in there for so long? Just get the fuck out. You heard that dog barking in the background. Yeah, I know you're faking that shit.
that have demanded that I explain SAG and the strike right this second to you, because there's no other voice actors that will.
Shut up.
I'm busy.
Interesting. Well, if you're going to make a public stance on something and make very inflammatory and aggressive statements about this strike, well, yeah, you should have to explain yourself. You're apparently the professional and the expert here. She has, in other videos, said that other people who are not voice actors, they know nothing. They're stupid. They're idiots. So please, enlighten us as to what's going on. Why are you surprised that people would want more information? Also, this excuse about being so busy is so rich to me. You scroll through her Twitter account, she is either tweeting or retweeting other people every waking minute of her day. In fact, looking at her account, I saw something that truly pissed me off. She retweeted this post from a VTuber attacking Banana Juju. Now, if you remember that name, it's a VTuber I defended about a week or two ago. That was the monkey-themed VTuber who has dreadlocks on her character that has fair skin, and people are saying was racist and cultural appropriation and all that stuff. And everyone rallied behind Banana Juju, and they gained a very quick following on social media. Now people are attacking Banana Juju for posting AI art that she clearly said was AI art and was not trying to pass off as legitimate. And you can see Karina retweeting someone attacking her and all of this stuff and saying, you know, she's bootlicking Asmongold and we're doing all this nonsense. So clearly Karina has a lot of time.
I think all the pieces are starting to come together to me. I feel like all the pieces are slowly fitting together for me. We're clearly like this sort of like social justice-y warrior, virtue signaling partisan, legend of the X. Just one of those individuals that has a fetish for involving themselves or giving their take on issues that they don't fundamentally understand and probably shouldn't get involved in the first place. I feel like that has to be her bread and butter, because 1000%, I think we've taken a look at Karina's Twitter. Yeah, about 90% of it is in fact retweets. And the retweets are naturally like pointed aggressive shit or like insults, or they're like trying to put somebody down. I'm pretty sure it's like trying to put somebody or something down. And that type of negativity on a day-to-day basis, right? It has to be exhausting. I'm not surprised she's sick. She's just angry all the time. She genuinely seems like one of those people that's angry about something, somebody, or like some fucking ideology all the fucking time. And that has to be exhausting.
So I don't buy this excuse at all.
Vomiting into this toilet every 5 seconds. But also,
bro, she's like faking it, bro. That's fucking amateur hour. What do you even, that's not even real. Come on, what the fuck was that? I'm yak. I'm vomiting, so like, what the fuck was that? That was the fakest dry heave I've ever seen.
Seconds. But also,
I don't buy this excuse.
Vomiting into this toilet every 5 seconds.
That was like a burp. She just burped. What the fuck was that?
But also, tell me that you've never fucking tried to look for this information without telling me you've never tried to fucking look for this information. Not only me have I been public on here, but...
Dude, like... You know what the dog barking in the background reminds me of? The dog barking in the background, like, reminds me of, like, a smoke alarm low battery thing just going off in the background. It's, like, slowly fading into the background noise.
Literally, there are so many actors that have been on social media trying to explain what's going on. Kyle McCarley has posted stuff. There's literally Xeno's trying to post stuff right now about what's going on.
What's a Xeno? Did you just say that there's Xenos posting? What's a Xeno? Oh, God.
It's like the bullshit's just coming out of her mouth. You know, she can't even help. It's a natural reflex. Also, can we talk about these camera angles? What is going on? You know, like, okay, you're sick. That's fine. But you know what? I'm sure there was a time during that day for a couple of minutes you could have just sat at your desk and recorded this instead of hovering over the toilet acting like a martyr.
SAG-AFTRA even has virtual town hall meetings that anybody can join for information about what's going on with the SAG strike. Non-union voice actors, hell, I've even known non-voice actors to join in those town halls.
Should we join the next one, guys? Imagine if, like, Ectone just joined one. Hey, boys, what's up? Hey, boys, what's up? How's everyone doing?
Because it's free for anybody to join.
Yeah, all you guys
Typing $4,000. Stop spreading misinformation in my chat. Stop spreading misinformation in my chat. It's free.
we should definitely tune in for the next one, guys.
Nava Voices answers a lot of questions about what's going
Back
on
up.
with the strike right now. It is not just my job.
POV, you're the last chip in the Pringles can. Again, what is this angle? It's absolutely killing me, dude.
Wait, did somebody comment that? Wait, I don't even see that comment on the page. You're the last. That's good.
Dude.
To tell you what's going on, and honestly, at this point, with as much misinformation as you guys are willing to make up, without, like, there's so many sources out there of what's going on. Hell, one of the stupid YouTube channels that used my TikToks as a way to, like, bash SAG and the strike or whatever.
Who was it? I'm genuinely curious. Who
Is
was
she gonna
it?
name names?
Because the funny thing is,
There's so
a lot
many
of
people.
the coverage of this situation started about 2 weeks ago. I can think of a couple YouTubers who've covered this, like Hero Hey, Muujin, myself, even like Asmongold has reacted to some of the videos. So I'm genuinely curious who she's talking about, because this was posted about a month ago.
It said
Who's the
that,
stupid YouTuber?
like, if somebody joins the union, they can't work on non-union ever again. I'm in the union and I'm working on a Hoyo game that's non-union. What?
You're FICOR. You're not actually. Guys, let me just bring some of the glue over here. Let me just bring some of the glue. You guys know the spitter from Left 4 Dead 2? Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Oh, yeah, so she's in FICOR, and look at what SAG-AFTRA has to say about being in FICOR. Yeah, so I think even her saying that she's in the union is actually misinformation. Because I guess she's actually not. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Yeah, even they themselves, they're not accepting you. You're not a part of the cool kids club anymore. Sorry about that one.
What? Crazy. Oh my god. What? It's almost like that's possible. Yes, there's technically a rule for that, but...
Yeah, there she goes, trying to gaslight you and act like it's so easy. No, as a principal core of joining SAG-AFTRA, you are not supposed to work with non-union companies. The only reason this particular individual is allowed to is because she has what's called a FICOR status. It is a rare status that allows her to keep working on projects like Hoyo with limited union benefits. So she has a special status. That's the only reason she can keep doing this. Otherwise, people who don't have the status, like many of the voice actors who are joining in the supposed strike, they could face fines from the union or be kicked out of the union or face nothing if the union just decides they don't want to do anything about it. But clearly there is a rule against this as a principle of the union.
Yeah, basically, there are a ton of union VAs that are not FICOR, that are voicing in Genshin Impact, and they're directly breaking one of their #1 rules of the SAG-AFTRA union. And I guess the thing is, the SAG-AFTRA moderation team is just kind of arbitrary in how they're going to assign penalties. And I guess when it comes to the Genshin Impact VAs, they just don't care what's going on. They just don't care at all, and there's no actual, like, punishment and stuff going around. You know Joe Zija, right? The guy that made the video about the strike. He's actually in the union, but still voicing Genshin Impact. So, yeah, he's kind of, I guess he's just chilling. I guess the union was like, yeah, it's all good, brother, man.
SAG also knows that if anybody works on non-union stuff, usually it's people...
Real shit in this link? What is this? Changes to SAG-AFTRA health plan spark outrage. It stinks of dishonesty and cronyism. Who could have thought? Amidst the avalanche of disheartening developments this year, few are as dispiriting in Hollywood as the August 12th announcement of the SAG-AFTRA health plan that it was limiting coverage for about 12,000 of 32,000 participants. Well, I guess they can just go die. I guess those 12,000 people can just go die.
People that need the money, and they're not going to attack you for that because they are first and foremost actor first, especially.
Well, that's stupid. Like, oh,
I think the article that we just saw probably is not going to support that, considering that they just cut 12,000 insurance plans, and I guess a good portion of them were senior workers. So, yeah, I guess they can just go die.
okay, so we make exceptions for people because they need the money. Well, guess what? This is the real world, lady. Everyone needs money. Also, the guy you're criticizing and attacking, Jacob Takanashi, he's a married man and a father. Do you think he doesn't?
Married man, a father of 2 kids, and he also just bought a house. Yeah, mortgage payments are, I guess, yeah, they're pretty high priority, right? And you wanna know the funniest part about all of it? Kaylee Mills, Kaching's VA, was critiquing him and saying, well, he just bought a house, and so I guess he doesn't need a job. Nobody knew that he had just bought a house other than her. So she kind of like started like fucking stalking him. She also deleted her Twitter right after posting that tweet. So yeah, you can kind of tell, yeah, nobody really liked that shit either. And the thing about Kaylee Mills, she decided to shut the fuck up. Unlike this absolute babbling idiot over here.
Doesn't need money? Yeah, he does. I can guarantee without knowing anything about his life, if you're a father and husband, and you're especially, you're working in the voice acting industry that is not very lucrative financially, you need money. So are they going to make an exception for him, which doesn't really matter because he's not even in the union anyways. This is so stupid. The rules can be bent because, well, I have a personal stake in this. I need money. Well, guess what? Everyone does.
For their union members. And I'm not saying that SAG is perfect, but bottom line is that the only way an actor is 100% safe in any contract is if it's a SAG contract. So let's say you even have a non-union contract that even has AI protection in it. Do you
think SAG appreciates her kind of like going on this holy crusade while also spreading misinformation about how they work, all while fucking like 2 feet away from a toilet? Like this kind of just has to like not be what they want to happen, right? Like, hey Karina, do you mind not filming this while you're fucking faking yakking on the toilet? Could you like, I don't know, wash your face? Do you think the union encourages this behavior? There's no way that they want this to be the outward representation of their organization.
have the money for a lawyer? Because I bet you don't. Because when I wasn't getting paid for 7 months last year, okay, when that happened, I couldn't do anything because it wasn't a SAG contract.
Skill issue.
And I couldn't afford a lawyer. And then some fucker in Twitter was like, if that happened, people would sign up for a GoFundMe and help out immediately. Oh, really? Where was my GoFundMe then?
Didn't Hoyoverse help her get paid? Was that not something that happened? Hoyo helping her get paid? Like they like helped her like move over to like the right studio or something? Yeah, they changed her to a different studio and then she started getting paid? Yeah. If that is what happened, I do find it convenient that it wasn't mentioned.
Because no one wants to support you. What do you mean? This whole thing, like she's saying, like, oh, if I started a GoFundMe, where's the money? Well, I don't know. You'd have money if you're just like more likable. Like I've seen people who are even controversial content creators start a GoFundMe or some sort of crowdfunding campaign and do amazing. Recent examples: Smash JT. He started a GoFundMe for his lawsuit with Alyssa Mercante, the former Kotaku editor who's suing him. He raised like $60,000 in a few days. You think of other people like Chibi Reviews. Okay, he started a GoFundMe for potential lawsuits he's making against his harassers. He's raised tens of thousands of dollars. Like, it's definitely possible. I just don't think Karina here has a lot of confidence in a GoFundMe because, well, who would support this?
When I came forward about not getting paid, where was that? Because it's unreliable. We shouldn't have to rely on GoFundMes to hold. We shouldn't have to rely on that.
I will say this. She's right that I think voice actors are underpaid. I think that's something that's agreeable. It's just the reality of the business. But if that's not enough to sustain your lifestyle or whatever needs you have, then maybe you should look elsewhere. I think that's the Hard, but truthful reality of what we're talking about.
Also, the SAG
Are they underpaid? I don't know. Joe Z just looks like he has a pretty nice setup. I'm not gonna lie, his house looked kind of nice. I always viewed voice acting as like a representation of like how popular and how sought after your skills are. I wouldn't be surprised if it's kind of like, well, the better you are at voice acting, the more you get paid. And I would assume if your voice really isn't that popular and you aren't that actually good at voice acting, you don't get paid that much because you don't get that many roles. And let's be honest here, I don't think that there are a lot of people that are hearing Paimon in Genshin Impact and they're like, damn, I really want that in my game. I don't think there's a lot of people that think that way. Yeah, that's just my take though. Yeah,
strike right now. We're not even asking for a pay raise. We're literally
Not to pocket watch, but his crib was nice.
asking for AI protection and
You already
for, for
You don't even know.
mocap actors to be considered actors, not just data. Okay?
Amazing.
You're telling me that companies can't sign that? If they
don't
are
need to.
really not gonna... Hello? Also, non-union people can be in a union contract. They
What's going on? It sounds like her fucking frontal lobe is disintegrating in the middle of this recording. Like, you could just rewatch this and then choose not to upload it, right?
can do that. It's called a Taft-Hartley. But yeah, again, whatever.
By the way, if you want a better breakdown of the Taft-Hartley whole situation there and how that works, go back to this video. He explains it very well, but anyways.
But if there's only a certain amount of Taft-Hartleys that you can do before you become a must-join. Okay, then as long as you don't work on another separate union contract again, you don't have to join until that moment.
This is crazy. You know what? I think the conclusion that I'm personally coming to, and it might be the same conclusion that a lot of you guys are coming to, is that I feel like she needs a chaperone. She needs a guardian. She is actually, like, she seems mentally below the age of 18. Genuinely. She's an adult, but she needs a parent. This is insane. Like, I would expect behavior like this from, like, somebody in, like, the most crazy part of puberty, where, like, their hormones are, like, going crazy out of whack, and they're just making and saying the dumbest shit possible. But it's just, like, it's mind-blowing, the level of, like, logical reasoning that is just not here in the responses and, like, the things that she's saying. Yeah, the Taft-Hartley has, you know, there's only, like, 3 ones. And so, just do 2 and then never work on a union project again. It's easy. Just do 2 and then never work on a union project again. Is that supposed to be a solution? Like, most people would have, like, the critical thinking skills to recognize that's just not really something that makes a lot of sense.
But it's $3,000 to join. Okay, and you want to know what? SAG also offers a lot of options to help you pay that off.
Yeah, they basically offer, like, a payment plan, by the way, and also that money.
Yeah, so Joe Z just said that the SAG-AFTRA fee 10 years ago was $4,000 to apply. Maybe inflation hasn't hit it. Maybe the price is actually lower. But yeah, $4,000 to apply to join 10 years ago.
Money that is required for the entrance fee that we can see right here. This $3,000, by the way.
Oh, okay. It went down to $3,000. It went down to $3,000. Oh, I guess Joe just got scammed then. Joe, you should ask for a refund.
Depends on the state you're in, so it can be even more. As Joe said in his video, his entrance fee was $4,000, which again, as a voice actor, that is a lot of money for them. They're not making great
Joe got fucking milked.
Revenue to begin with, and on top of that, you also have certain requirements, including work dues, that they take a percentage of. So this is actually very, very stringent. And also, as pointed out in Joe's video, you have to make a certain amount of money through union contracts annually to actually collect healthcare benefits, which is a very big thing and something that a lot of voice actors who are joining the union will not be able to obtain. They won't get enough revenue through union contracts to receive those benefits anyways. It is a very, very big deal joining SAG-AFTRA. It's a
Honestly, it sounds like fucking terrible. Imagine you're like $5,000 in like work away from getting your health insurance, and then you don't get the role, and then you're like, oh no, everything is fucking cooked. Like it sounds like there's like so much like additional like pressure and shit to like get this done. 80% of the jobs are outside of the union. It doesn't even sound like there are enough union jobs in the first place to like fucking meet these criteria at all. It sounds like an actual scam.
big commitment and something that shouldn't be just kind of glossed over like she's
You know what I bet? I bet there are a ton of VAs who want Genshin to turn union so that Genshin would now allow them to be eligible for like coverage like health insurance and like those other benefits, right? Because they need to meet a certain threshold of like union contracts to get all those benefits, and they just want Genshin to turn union so that they can get insurance from SAG-AFTRA. How about you just blame SAG-AFTRA for requiring that shit in the first place? Like, actually, instead of trying to, like, bully a game into becoming union, you just strike the fucking union instead for putting you in this shitty situation in the first place. Because you're already paying your initiation fee, you're already paying all this other shit. Oh, man.
He's trying to do here, because for some reason she has such a vested interest in getting people to join this damn union.
There's also a 30-day grace period too. Also, you know how long it takes somebody to become a must join?
She's editing this video like she's actually like a fucking 10-year-old that just discovered like Adobe Light Show. What the fuck? Holy like, huh? Was that the transition? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Usually takes years for somebody to become a must join. Like, come on. I've known people that have been been SAG eligible for 10 years before. So I don't know why people
It
are
sounds
freaking
like
out about
incompetence.
This is ridiculous. Also, people are claiming that if something was flipped union, it means all the non-union voice actors would be fired. Super fucking not true. What the fuck, dude? Stop just...
Well, okay, that she is correct, but eventually you have to make a decision. I believe it was 30 or 60 days. You have until you have to make a decision to either join the union or stop receiving the benefits of the union, because the company flips, right? You're not immediately kicked out, but eventually you have to make a decision to join the union or to give up those benefits you're receiving.
That's just the whole Taft-Hartley thing that she was fucking talking about before. So she just like went back into another Taft-Hartley situation, and I guess I don't even know if she recognizes that it's the same topical area that she already covered. I feel like she's not able to recognize that she just talked about Taft-Hartley, and the example that's being talked about over here of kicking kicking non-union members out is also just the Taft-Hartley thing.
As a result of the company going union. So she's correct, but she's oversimplifying what's actually going on here.
saying shit. That's so stupid. But again, there are so many people online that have tried and done their best to explain SAG to you guys. So any of you claiming that, well, you voice actors just have never told us, bullshit. Bullshit. I'm sick to my fucking stomach right now. Literally. I'm also autistic and I'm not good with words. I'm not.
Come on, dude. I'm sorry. What are we doing? Like, honestly, what are we doing? Okay, she's over the toilet. She's saying she's autistic. She wants every victim angle she can possibly go for. This is ridiculous. Okay? What you're saying online is getting criticism because it's ridiculous.
I don't think anyone knew that she was autistic, if what she's saying is true. I feel like the only thing people knew about her and her medical condition was that she had Crohn's disease, which is like ironic because I thought Crohn's disease made you shoot stuff out of the other end of your body, not your mouth.
misrepresenting what's going on here. You're playing the victim constantly. You're cry bullying. You're attacking other people for taking roles at a company that you also are actively taking roles for. This whole thing is ridiculous. And now you have individuals like this weaponizing their own autism diagnosis and their sickness and whatever they're doing right here to make you feel bad for daring to question anything they're doing.
Maybe she has an alternative form of Crohn's disease that like it's like in reverse.
This is repugnant. This is ridiculous. This is the absolute state of the English voice acting scene right here. Let's continue on a little more.
But that's absolutely bullshit because I've seen it. I've seen it myself. You just didn't look. Because you probably only follow YouTubers and not actual actors. Crazy, I know. Also, somebody brought up the fact that SAG at one point alluded to the fact that non-union actors were less than. First of all, every fucking union actor used to be a non-union actor at some point. So it was a...
Well, yeah, of course every union actor was at one point a non-union actor. Like...
Oh, no, man. I was born a union voice actor. Yeah, I came out of the womb, I was in the union. This reminds me, what she just said reminds me of that one time where like Tech was beefing with somebody and then they described a person as a former minor. they described somebody as a former minor. Oh man, that's such a goofy thing.
Are you born into the union? What kind of logic is this?
Ridiculous statement, but he didn't bring up the fact that the union actors themselves within the union actually blasted SAG for saying that. We all fucking told them off. All of us in the union told them that that was not okay.
You want a medal?
Also, that didn't happen during this strike. That happened during a previous strike. Why are you just mentioning it now? Because you just learned about it now? Because that's how far behind you are? Makes sense.
Oh my.
Hope this helps. That's the same energy as hope this helps. Makes sense.
My God. Do you want people to know about your strike or not? Like honestly, this is a genuine question.
I do think she has to have some sort of ulterior motive here. I don't think that there's any way she's actually acting like this unless there's like some level of ulterior motive here for her to like try to get people to like hate something about what she's supporting. I think if you put a video like this in front of anybody, you could do like an A/B survey with the general populace and then like play her videos and play her TikToks. I feel like nobody would have a good impression of her. I just think they are off. Like something ain't clicking up there. Yeah, we kind of got that from the whole AI thing, but it's just at a certain point, maybe it's the fault of the community that she's in. I do feel like she's never gotten called out for this absolutely monstrous behavior. And there are like other people out. This is one of the bad things about the internet. Is it allows awful behavior to find support from like at least a few absolute ding-dongs because of how connected everybody is. And so I'm imagining society like 50, 60 years ago. If you were to act like this, you would be like ostracized and you'd correct the behavior because you'd realize nobody reasonable actually like agrees with you or likes this. But in the age of the internet, you can act like this absolute fucking buffoon that we're seeing on the screen right now. And you'll find somebody out there that will support your takes, that will agree with you, despite the fact that it's one of the worst takes the world has ever fucking seen. And it's just so unfortunate, right? That like it's allowed people to like blossom into these absolute diseased fucking plants, like these diseased flowers instead of like normal people, because the behavior is never corrected. Yeah, this was a whatever she is right now, that was a joint effort. It was a joint effort.
Do you actually want people to know about this? Because it's all about education and people understanding what's going on until they actually do. Then you say, well, you learned about it too late, or you're a YouTuber. Who cares? This is so ridiculous, man.
Bottom line is you are not truly protected as an actor unless it's a union contract, or you are privately rich and can afford a lawyer yourself. But most voice actors are not rich. I've said that here before.
Yeah, probably because you guys got to pay $3,000 just to join this thing and then now you gotta like go on like a shilling campaign to get your money's worth because you feel, I mean, they all feel like they got scammed. That's why they're striking.
I'm also going to bring up this. Somebody brought up that not every actor wants to join the union. I also call bullshit on that, because how else are they going to work for Disney or
You ain't working for Disney. Shut up. Shut up. What the fuck? You ain't working for Disney. Shut your ass up. You fucking liar. What the hell? What? Nah, you just lying.
Oh, that's rich.
work for DreamWorks or work on AAA projects, like something like you know.
Yes, so
I love how she brought up only 2 examples, and now it's like, oh shit, what's behind door number 3? Fuck, I don't remember. Even though I'm the host of the show.
subtle flex. Anyways, no, there are plenty of people I can guarantee in all walks of life, including voice acting, who don't want to be a part of a union.
Y'all know what Joe Z just said about non-union versus union roles as well? Joe Z just said that only 20% of all voice acting roles are union. 80% of them are not union. And rule number 1 of the union is you cannot take non-union roles.
That's life. A lot of people don't want to be a part of a union. They don't see the benefit, or they think the benefit is not worth it. It's not worth the cost. And also, as we've heard from Joe, for example, joining the union prevents you from about 80% of voice acting opportunities.
Yep.
So the fact that you have some union related opportunities doesn't overcome the fact that you've given up a lot, because you're not supposed to.
Yeah, but I mean, if fucking SAG-AFTRA doesn't give a shit because like half the fucking Genshin VAs are in the union, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter, right? I guess it's just actually a fake rule.
Work on non-union projects as a union member. And of course, it's easy for someone like Karina here to say, because, well, she is FICOR status. So she's been able to continue working with Genshin, a non-union contract, despite being a part of the union. She's got this special exemption that she is capitalizing on while chastising others for operating as a independent outside.
Paying to join the union is like getting scammed. She probably feels bad and wants people to go union so she feels less dumb. They like to say misery loves company. That's a common phrase, right? Misery loves company. I think a more common phrase that should become more common nowadays is stupidity loves company.
Outside of the union and taking opportunities as they come. But anyways, there's like a minute left. It doesn't get any better. Nothing really important to cover in the final minute or so. So that is going to do it for this video. I appreciate you guys hanging out and reacting to this video. I'm a little tired today, I'm not going to lie. I was up till like 8 in the morning playing some classic hardcore WoW. My Shadow Priest got Shadow Form finally in his mount. So, you know, shiny, fun stuff. Couldn't stop playing. And if you understood anything I just said, please like this video. And also like this video if you enjoyed it, because that's going to do it for this
Yeah, I'm not a fucking nerd, so I have no idea what you just said, nerd.
video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.
Yeah, I thought that was a great walkthrough. I think we had some good commentary from Rev over here. Yeah, I had no idea this shit was 8 minutes long. I thought it was actually multiple clips spliced together with some of the worst transition work I've ever seen in my life. I'm gonna be real here. I feel like Karina actually needs like a conservatorship. You know, like that shit that like Britney Spears had, where like there was like somebody making decisions for her because they like judged that she wasn't sound of mind. Yeah, I don't think Britney Spears' one was real, but I think this one definitely is. Because holy shit, this is just quite literally some of the most unhinged, nonsensical behavior that I feel like anyone has ever witnessed. And the fact that she's getting farmed by this many channels on a daily basis on like new content and new videos is ridiculous. Like I've never seen somebody get farmed this much before. And it's like she's still finding support somewhere for these takes. And it's just, at this point,
Acting like
she needs a chaperone. She needs a chaperone. Somebody needs to stop her. Somebody needs to delete her TikTok. Somebody needs to delete her videos. Somebody needs to delete her Twitter, delete her Blue Sky. Just do a full wipe on her on social media and just tell her to shut up and just do her job. This is actually like the shut up and dribble moment. And it's like not even in a bad way. It's in a like what's actually best for her way, because this is ridiculous at this point. Let me know what you all think. Peace.